From 2020 to about 2022, we've seen the rise of a lot of the whore programming taking place, not only in the music industry, but when it comes to political affiliations, in which they try to use any antidote that they could use against the black man or for the black man to insist. The fact of the matter is that the black man is like a child. The only thing he likes to look, or a teenager, the only thing he likes to look at is ass, titties, and vagina. The thing about it is, when you seen this campaign that happened a couple of years ago, it was the bright idea of some random black woman to go ahead and say that a black man needs to get his booty to the polls, in which that was supposed to institute these whole entire things of women being on the stripper poles and trying to convince the black man your issues, your issues, your issues. If you go out and vote and do it, you should be able to care for us too. You understand? See, thing about it is the disrespect that comes on along in this society. The black woman knows what she's doing. The black woman that was behind that ad, she knew what she was doing. And the thing about it is, she doesn't feel like the black woman is disrespecting herself. It might have seemed like she was making a mockery of the black man. But we go further into the picture, 2022, when Trina and Saucy Santana decided to make a mini music video that was promoting a black website, dating website, in which they're telling you no voting, no vucking. And with that whole entire thing, it caused national headlines, outrage, whatever you want to call it, in which I did a review on it. And I thought it was so comical because, Trina has always made stripper-like music and, music from the dirty South or whatever the hell she's from in Florida. And, Saucy Santana playing a fluid so-called black man, in which he is known and renowned for a lot of his songs that's very risque and very out there, typical Atlanta anthem, okay? In which this whole entire thing about telling people to vote, in which they're trying to intrigue black people to vote in the most nonsense way by use of lust, has shown society has disrespected the black man and his integrity. Letting the black man only being referred to as lower chakra, the sacral chakra, and not even understand that the black man can think further than that. So basically, they were saying that if you don't vote, you don't have sex with the black women, basically. And the person behind the no voting, no vucking, ad campaign and all this other stuff happens to be a so-called black man. So it's pretty funny to see how this all turned out. But, look at the comment section. You guys had some good stuff to say about it. So just check it out. So getting Gadini Ronald 8635 says the value of black woman has since the late 1970s been viewed as nothing but sexual objects, usable and disposable. Black women wonder why all races and ethnicities see them as only good for sex, hypermasculine, rude, and loud, and most Black American women subscribe to this nonsense. Well, the thing about it is, we also have to take into effect, in which I don't disagree with you, you also have to take into effect that the whole programming has been strategized on Western women, especially the black woman. And so, with the whole entire thing in the 70s, the black exploitation films and stuff like that, of course, it's always about making the woman look like a whore. Hot Street 9805 says Trump, Kanye, Angela Stanton King, Candace Owens will save the black community. The black community will be saved when everyone burns down Planned Parenthood clinics for systemic black genocide and for the KKK demon rats since inception and making Margaret Sanger's dream come true. Well, the people you mention are not supposed to be ones to save the black community. And it's actually ironic that you mentioned Trump, who is a so-called white man. This day and age, this is a couple of months back, but, right now he's being indicted for, these different crimes that he supposedly committed, especially with the hush money thing with Stormy Daniels. But the thing about it is that when you say Trump is going to save the black community, it lets me know exactly where your mind state is, brother, that you would rely on a white man to save the black community. Now, if it was up to the black community, black people should be saving the black community more than that. Black men should be saving the black community. Now, the thing about it is, a lot of people you see on that you told me about, a lot of them are just fixtures for just having a talking conversation. That's all they are. You understand? They talk a good one. They just place to talk their talk, and then after that, they leave. Okay. Kanye got his own issues going on. Angela Staten King, I'm not really familiar with her stuff. I've heard of her because I know she did that interview with Dr. Phil where she had a fluid son that wears long hair. And, basically he can say the fact of the matter that he was Gay, but, we can understand exactly what it's like. He was very feminine. And that's what you call, they call those type of dudes femboys. Candace Owens Candace Owens talks a good one, but remember, she's married to a so-called white man and had a baby with a so-called white man. So her issues and the way that she rolls is very questionable. In terms as you talking about Planned Parenthood, it needs to be a better effort for black men to think logically with their phallus, and because we must not forget there are black men out there that will pay for a woman's baby deletion. Let's just say that. And so once we start getting on our square and saying we're not accepting this, or maybe it might be a good thing for you to withhold sex from a black woman, if that's how extreme it needs to get. The thing about it is two sides to every coin, brother. Remember that. Jorge Morales 3752 says, all this perversion is coming from the Democratic Party. Time for change. One thing I'll say about a lot of people who go off this whole entire thing of talking about the Democratic Party, Democratic Party is being used as a scapegoat. My thing about it is Republicans and Democrats is two sides of the same coin. It's an illusion. So you guys believe that the Democratic Party is the ones that's spreading out all this propaganda. Fine, I'll give you that. But at the same time, they're both in tandem. So basically, it's like Coca-Cola or Pepsi. Basically the same soda with the same taste, two different brands. Demetrius says those people are sick, I tell you. Agreed. Lucky Love 2100 gives me the emojis. Maestro CEO, man, fuck this. I'm voting Republican. This shit is an insult. It was an insult for Joe Biden to say if you ain't vote for him, you ain't black. Oh, we already knew the whole entire situation with Joe Biden was a public outrage. I don't know if it was actually streamlined or, it was meant to happen, but, I've already had my opinion on that, in which I said, Charlemagne the God, as much as he preached all this pro-blackity black shit, he didn't want to check Joe Biden based on what he said. See how he doubled down on his statements as soon as that happens. But then, let me tell you this, especially with Joe Biden and, Kamala Harris, I'll tell you this, he knew to bring Kamala Harris as the vice president. He knew that because he needed to find a way on not appearing as racist as much as he knows that his old ass is. You know what I'm saying? And my thing about it is that a lot of pro-blacks gave into the speeches that he gave, forgave him basically for saying you ain't black, and had his asses had it in no time, especially when it came to the nomination or, the inauguration, excuse me, how they had that black girl poet. It was crazy. D Time and Zero says, don't vote for that pig. She is only concerned for her white supremacist paymasters. She has a well thought out agenda for Hispanics and dismisses reparations and black people. They always come up with ignorant shit for black folks. Too ignorant. Miami Mike Perez, 1418, seems pretty black. C4153 says, literally all they have to do to get black men to vote is to provide some tangibles. That would mean that the Democratic Party, from Xavier Smith 4965, would have to view black men as human beings, and we all know they don't. This is where I agree with you. I agree with you a lot on that. But the point is, mainly society does not respect black men. That's something that I've said incessantly on this channel. They don't respect black men. They don't respect us, you, black men. And the thing about it is that, until this society falls, is going to be remaining the same treatment. It's just going to get a lot worse. So Shan TV 2396 says, bruh, the fuck is Trina doing? I think I lost my respect. Absolutely. And Tina Jenkins is alerting me about me being on Shan TV's network. Shout outs to Shan TV. I'll be back with some more response to your comments. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, and comment what you think in the comment section. Peace.